Hello, friend. Jim here with JP's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Now, in this video today, as promised, I'm going to go through all the questions that you have asked answers for, and I'm going to go through them. And there's been so many that I'm going to have to actually probably do 2 videos because of the number of questions that came in. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be reading through them and then giving you the answers for them. So if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great community, and I know you want to be a part of it. It's fast, easy, free, and easy to do. Bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there's actually a little red box. Tap on that, and you are subscribed, and you'll know when our next video comes out. Also, give us a thumbs up. That lets other people know it's a great video to watch and about places and things that take place here at Lake Chapala. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. And I've got to tell you, some of these are real doozies. And there are some that I'm really kind of surprised I got asked. But I'm going to go ahead and answer them anyway, just because some of these might need a little bit of me sharing with you some of the information and such. So first one I've got here, and it seems like this is one of the ones that got most of the individuals were asking the question. They were told that there was no Christian communities here at Lake Chapala. Now, I don't know who could have told someone that there are no Christian communities. There are over 14 different churches here with faiths that cover everything from community church, Baptist church, Jewish, Presbyterian, Assembly of God, Mormon, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, Anglican, Church of Christ, and more. So there is definitely churches that are here surrounding Lake Chapala, right here between Chapala and Ajijic. And so that's where these churches are. So you should not have a problem at all finding a church. And I would say that just in my communication, the majority of all of them have English speakers, presentations, pastors, then the services are done in English. The only one I found out that for the most part wasn't is the Catholic Church. And mostly it was the one that's actually at the plaza and also in Chapala. So I hope that answers your question. Now, if you wanted the exact location of where these churches are at, what you can do is go to Google and Google the church. What I was going to do is I was going to go around and take a picture of each of them. And then I got thinking, well, I think what I'll do is I'll answer the question and let the folks, whichever church it is that they're looking for, be able to come up with the information, the address, and everything. Okay, another question. I cannot believe that this got asked. Are Mexicans lazy people? I don't know why someone would ask me that question. I've got to tell you, I could look out my office here through the glass to the backyard, which we have a gardener that actually tends to our place about every week. I've never seen people work so hard. And I would almost guess that the gentleman that actually comes to our place, because there's a lot of different places here, but he's probably 60 at least. And he's on his hands and his knees working so diligently. And here in Mexico, they work for peanuts. The last thing that I would ever say to somebody about the Mexican people is that they're lazy. Because they're not. I mean, just like in any, it doesn't matter. You could be in the States and there's lazy people. So I'm sure there are in the area. But those that I've seen working, those that have been involved in construction, those that have been involved in landscaping, these people really work hard for their money. And I appreciate the people so much more since I've been down here because you're surrounded about it. You're surrounded with it. And to me, that's another thing is getting used to want to be a part of that culture and enjoy seeing the culture. So Mexicans are not lazy people. They're very, very hardworking people, and they work hard for the money. Elder care facilities. There are, from what I understand, 3. There is one that's been shared with me, and I've reached out to them a couple of times, and I've not been able to speak with the person who apparently owns it that I understand speaks English. And I guess I just haven't called. I've left my number, but I haven't gotten any kind of a comment. But what I will share with you is, because I've also been told from other folks, and that is that they've got some great facilities here. As I mentioned, that the Mexican people are hardworking people. They're diligent about what they do. They really care about the people that they're around. And I would say it's a perfect place. If you're looking at coming, or if you're coming down, you're bringing a parent with you. My mom turns 80 this year. And so I literally, I've been thinking about that, of just making sure she's taken care of. So I've heard some very, very good things about those that are here. So the answer to that is yes, there are places here that are elder care that you would be able to bring your parent to, your friend, whoever it may be, with you. Are immigration attorneys easy to find, and what do they cost? Okay, so there is one attorney. Let me back up. There are 2 attorneys in town that I really like them. One is A. Susana. She actually is down by the Lake Chapala Society, ABC Legal, but she's really, really busy. And I didn't do a video with her at her request because she already has to turn people away, which is a good thing. But I was willing to, I mean, what I did was I just walked from the Lake Chapala Society over by her office. I took a video of it so you can kind of get an idea where it's at. So that's one of the videos I did. There's actually a location there about finding where A. Susana's office is at. But the second video I did was with Adriana Lopez Flores. And I was very, very impressed with her, very impressed. She not only represents immigration, she's also a real estate attorney and an estate planning attorney. Now, I've been around attorneys for some time now, literally around a lot of them over the last 20 years. And I'm accustomed to an attorney that charges $400 to $500, $600 an hour. I mean, it's expensive just to make a phone call to an attorney, let alone have an attorney do something for you. So when I asked Adriana what she charged, I couldn't believe it. She said $500. And I'm thinking, well, that's just like in the States. So I'm sure she's got great clientele. And then she said pesos. It was kind of funny the way she did because she speaks fine English. And so she said 500, and then she said, wait, and then said pesos. I'm thinking $500 an hour. So 500 pesos. Friend, I just want you to know that that's $25. You're telling me that you can get an attorney, an immigration attorney, with over 25 years experience that's willing to go fight for you for $25 an hour. That's a bargain. That's huge. I would say that everybody is planning on coming to Lake Chapala, call her. I did a video with her. Use her up. Ask her all kinds of questions when it comes to immigration or real estate. She'll have the answers for you. I was really impressed with her. In fact, one of the things that really impressed me about her was how she'd mentioned that she goes and she really fights for her clients. That was not asked for. I didn't ask her anything about that, but she mentioned to me that she really goes and fights for her clients. And I got to tell you, if you're going to have an attorney, you want one that's willing to fight for you. And I would say, too, you want to have an attorney. You want to have access to an attorney, being the fact that you're going to be in Mexico. Having an immigration attorney would be a very, very good thing. That way you know exactly what you can and cannot do. Okay, what is the nightlife like? Okay, well, I made a big mistake in like my first or second video I did, or third video or something. As far as I understood, there was no nightlife. There's no bars. I mean, there's no, discotheques or country western places or anything. But I had the good fortune of actually meeting a gal, and she really opened my eyes to this. Her name is Kimberly Moo, and she actually has a Facebook page. It's Life on the Lake Now, and it is everything about what the live music scene is like here at Lake Chapala. And she is so knowledgeable. She knows the band. She knows the guys that are in the band. And she's just a wealth of information. So if you want to connect and want to know more about what takes place here at Lake Chapala, go to Life on the Lake Now, and you'll be able to see all the different happenings going on here at Lake Chapala. So in answer to the nightlife, I guarantee you there's stuff going on every night, and not just at one club or one bar or whatever, but at multiple. So yes, there's live music here in town. I hope that's what you're looking for. Do I need documents to bring my dog, my cat, or my pet bird into Mexico? Okay, so the answer to that is yes. I would encourage anyone that's bringing animals into the country to make sure that you've got all the documents. I would just encourage you to do that. You don't want to get stuck at the border to find out that your dog needs to have a certain document. Now, I will tell you, the Department of Agriculture, which is I'm just really surprised about, the Department of Agriculture is actually the governing body that takes care with animals coming into Mexico. Now, go figure that. I could see if it was chickens, but we're talking about dogs and cats and such. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you do have the records. That way you don't get stuck. That way something doesn't happen. And if you need more information, contact the Mexican Department of Agriculture for those answers. So I hope that helps you with that question. There was a couple of people asked that. I hear about the fresh produce every day. I will tell you, I've never been around so many fruits and vegetables that are close. I mean, everywhere you drive, it seems like somebody's selling fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. The Tianguis, which is the farmer's market, there's one in Chapala on Mondays. There's one in Ajijic on Tuesdays. And on Wednesdays at the west end of Ajijic, there is another organic Tianguis that takes place. And if you've been here before, or if you've looked at videos and all, you might have seen that across the other side of the lake, there's a bunch of white things there. Well, they grow a huge amount of berries around here. Blueberries, blackberries. They don't grow strawberries, but they have them here. Raspberries. All kinds of berries, all kinds of apples, all kinds of oranges, all kinds of bananas, coconuts. I mean, it's pretty amazing, all the fruits and the vegetables. There are folks that literally go up and down the street along the Carretera in Ajijic, Chapala, that are selling stuff out of their truck. There's a guy, we see him every day, and he's got a larger truck, and he's got all kinds of fruits and vegetables in it. They're fresh. And I understand these folks go and get these every day. And they get up early, from what I understand, because they're going everywhere taking their fruits and vegetables too. So that's fresh produce. Absolutely, it's here. Do the restaurants use the fish from the lake? Do the restaurants use the fish from the lake? Well, I can tell you this: no. I know that when you think that you're at a lake, that there's going to be fish in there that they would feed to the local restaurants. And I will tell you that the lake really isn't a place you can fish, and the locals fish here. The locals get in the water. swim around, you see a bunch of kids. But it isn't, there's nobody getting these fish and taking them to the local restaurants. Every person I've talked to that had anything to do with fish, and you can go back and watch the videos from the interviews I've done with the owners, there's not one that said they got their fish out of the lake. The fish come from Guadalajara, and there's also fish that come from La Paseña, who is the owner of two of the restaurants here. Jorge told me that his comes from the Pacific Ocean, and he gets some different kinds of fishes also. And I know that he also sometimes has lobsters too. But the fish, all the fish, I did a video about the fish market probably a week ago or so, and I show the different types of fish. This fish, these are all fresh coming from Guadalajara, so they're not taking them out of the lake and serving them at the restaurants. There's no way at all. So I hope that puts you at ease for that. Okay, let's keep on going. Good veterinarians for my pets, medical care services. It's interesting you asked that, because just yesterday I did an interview with a really sharp young lady. She goes by Dr. B. She's a veterinarian. She's been doing veterinary for, I want to say 10 years, 15 years. And she's got like a pet store. And every time I've been there, well, let me put it this way. I shouldn't say that. Well, yeah. I went for the first time this last week. And then I went to do the interview with her, and she's got all these dogs in there. I mean, she's just really busy. And Dr. B, if you're watching this video, thank you for the time that you were willing to take for us, because she definitely is busy. And I felt grateful that she shared, because I know there's been a lot of folks that have wondered about veterinarians and what they're like here at Lake Chapala. And when I was on YouTube one time, when I was on Facebook one time, I really only use Facebook for one thing, and that is to help people that are asking questions that maybe I've made a video about. And what I do is I then email them the video so they can watch it. Well, it turned out that somebody was asking about if they knew any veterinarians. And Dr. B came up a bunch of times. And it wasn't just 5 times. It was a bunch of times. I was very impressed. So I had to find out where Dr. B was at, and I found out where her office was at. I went to her and said that I've got people asking me about veterinary care, and I don't have anybody really that I share with them. And so I asked her if she'd be willing to do a video, and we did the video. And that video just came out today. It was just today, Friday. That video came out today. So if you're looking for veterinary care, you can go and watch that video that's out today. So I hope that helps out. And she's great. And I would highly recommend her. I know Barb's getting a dog, and I know for a fact that we'll be taking the dog there. Okay. Moving services for local or distance. I want to use them to come to my house and move me to Lake Chapala. I'll share this with you. There are basically 2 moving companies that are able to do that and offer that service. I'm very, very careful about the people that I actually refer out. I want to make sure of the people. I ask a lot of questions. It isn't just I just come across somebody and boom, you're on a video. I want to find out a little bit about them. And that's why I appreciate the time that we took with Dr. B yesterday. Take the time to get together and talk. And these 2 moving services I looked into when Barbara and I were looking at moving down here. And because of our financial situation, we weren't able to hire either one. Now, I have actually heard of folks that have spent upwards of $40,000. There's somebody that comes to their house, brings the truck, loads everything up, brings it down to the border. They take it off that truck at the border, put it onto another truck, and drive it all the way down here to Lake Chapala. And from the border, from the Texas border of Laredo to Lake Chapala, it's a 12-hour drive. 12 hours in a car. That's about how long it takes. But there are 2. and one's called Strong White, and the other one is Mexico Movers, I think, or Best Mexico Movers. I actually reached out to both of the owners to do an interview because before I actually refer anybody, I wanted to talk to them for a bit. I wanted to get to know them a little bit. I just know you're shelling out. Our viewers, my viewers, Barbara and I's viewers are shelling out thousands of dollars if they're moving here, and they're going to be getting a moving service that's going to bring them down here. And apparently it wasn't very important for either one. And I said, okay, I just believe I'm a Christian, and I believe, okay, well, that's a sign of some sort. So I reached out 2 times to each one, and that's pretty much what I got. And I don't have the ability to really refer either one because I know when I looked into them, I know they were expensive. And I realize that expensive is different to different people. I mean, but we were talking, I want to say we were talking with one somewhere around $8,000 from Albuquerque. And another one I think was going to charge $3,000 to meet us at the border, or $4,000 to meet us at the border and bring things down. And that was still a bit high. We brought our stuff down and we paid $1,300. So do I have somebody? I don't. And I'm sorry that I can't just say these are, well, I already gave you the names. You're welcome to call them. You're welcome to ask all the questions that you want to ask. It's just, I basically kind of got excuses of why neither one, they could do any. I mean, anyway, I tried to do that to talk to them so I could refer them. They knew very well that I've got a YouTube channel. They know that we've got a lot of viewers and why our market are people that are looking to come and visit here or move here or retire here. And it was just, I just kind of felt they just shrugged me off, and that's fine. So if you want to do, to contact them and talk to them, I mean, that would be something that you're able to do. But I just want you to know how I felt about it. I try to take real responsibility when it comes to telling people about somebody because if I haven't met them, if I haven't really had long conversations with them about utilizing their service and referring them, and they can't see the value of having I go in and do a free video and do a little interview. It would take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and there was just excuses made, and that's the best I can say. I was very, very surprised, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so let's get some positive stuff here. We hear it's really trashy. Does it get into bags? I think what's happening is the trash here, it isn't like everybody's got like a trash can. Here what they do is they take whatever trash you've got, you tie a knot in the bag, you either set it on your doorstep or outside the gate or whatever it may be, and the trash guys come by and pick it up. Now, if somebody leaves the trash out overnight, there are loose dogs out there and they're going to get into it. They think there's food there or whatever it may be. I would say that's the only reason really it's trashy. I have seen some situations where there's trash build up, like if somebody was throwing stuff out of the car, or there was a group of folks that actually had lunch or whatever and just left some stuff behind. But when it comes to trashy, and I talked about this in my other video that I did just recently about the things that I couldn't stand. What I was sharing was the parallel of knowing that there are certain things that you want to do so you don't have a trashy place. And that would be it. Make sure you put it out the morning of instead of the night before. That way it doesn't get gone through. And again, there's places that there's trash around, but it isn't so much where I'm saying I'm not going to live there. I mean, there's plenty of things that on the opposite side that makes it so much worth being here. So that's about the trash, and I hope that answered the question for you. Okay, how about the internet services speed? I do business from home. Okay. All right. So internet speed. It's one of those things that Barbara and I saw videos before we came down here, and that was something we asked about. The thing that we were told was that the internet speed here was really slow, and there wasn't really a way of getting faster internet speed. That was the first time that we came down. As I mentioned, we did a lot of research when we came down. So that's something I was told. But when it really comes down to it, when you're renting a place and they say that internet is included, we have what is called Telmex. That's our internet. It's 50 megs is what we get. And that's fast for here. In fact, there's a company called Total Play. You can get in upwards of 500 megs. Now, I don't know. I want to say that this is close to $100 is what 500 is. But for about $30 a month, you can actually get good speed internet. Also, here's a couple tips for you. When you're looking at a place and you're looking at renting it and they have internet speed, you can ask them what speeds they get. But also what you can do is you can take the phone. Somebody can take the phone. There it is. There's actually apps that you can actually pull up. And let's say, for example, I'm here, you're going to rent this place from me. You're coming down here from Dallas. I can go into the apartment that I'm renting out to you. I can pull up the app and I can show what the internet speed is. And then I can take a screenshot and send it to you. If internet speed's important to you and you're looking at a place that says they have internet, and you need something fast, I would actually venture to say that that's what you're going to want to do. Just to protect yourself. You'll want to make sure that it's what you're needing. And if they say, I don't know how to do that, or you might want to find out who their internet provider is to kind of get a better idea. So again, Total Play. I mean, here we have what's called Telmex, which is like the telephone carrier here. Telmex and Telcel. Telmex is internet and home phones and those kind of things. And we have good speed. 50 megs does everything that we need to do. And I'm able to use it to download videos and everything. So I hope that's helpful for you, the person that asked that. So that's the speeds. And if that's important to you, there's some tips there for you to make sure you get the speed that you're needing. So, okay, crime rate, cartels. Okay. Let me share with you about the crime rate. I have known of 3 crimes that took place in almost a year that we've been here. 2 of them were thefts, and I shared this in that earlier video. And one was a burglary. Now, the burglary was somebody that's from our church. They live in a very nice house. They live in a house that's up in the hill. They live in a house that's, it could be $1.5 million here. And I'm sorry, 1.5 million in the States. Here, it's probably closer to $1 million, if not a little bit more. They're paying $1,400 a month to rent it. And they were at church one weekend, and that's how we found out about it. They let us know the following week that they'd gotten broken into probably when they were at church. So, and the other 2 were just thefts. One was somebody had left a bag at the tennis court and left it on the outside of the court. Didn't have the ability of seeing it, and somebody took off with it. And another, there was a gal that actually had her bag taken off the back of her seat, and a guy took off. Those are the 3. That's the crime here. No murders, no shootings. I've not heard of anything like that. Yet, what's interesting is, I go on my phone here this afternoon. Barbara and I were out having dinner, and I actually pulled up, and I was looking at the stories that were a part of the news cycle, the news that was out. Every single one of those stories was about a shooting. Now, I don't know if that was just coincidence or how I'm looking at that, and these are all shootings. And I guess there was one today that was actually in D.C., where I guess 4 people were shot. So the thing I would say to you is, because this is something I really looked into before we came down, and that was the cartels, for the most part, fight against themselves. But if you're looking for drugs, if you're looking to sell drugs, if you're looking for a gang to sell, if you're looking for trouble, you'll find trouble, no matter if it's here or if it's in the States. Now, I told you 3 crimes that I know of. Let me ask you this. Do you think that there was 3 crimes in Philadelphia today? How about Miami, Chicago, New York, LA? 3 crimes. I guarantee you there were more than 3 crimes, maybe 3,000. I did a part of a video and I broke up the crime rate in different areas in the states. And the bottom one was Stockton, California, and it had like several thousand per 100,000 residents. So I've only heard of 3 crimes here. I've never heard of a shooting, nobody being killed, no issues with the cartels, but yet people still move to those cities today in the States. Crime, they don't even think about the crime. They just move in. They just move to the different areas and they're there. So I will tell you, I feel safe here. The police, they have a presence. And the expat community brings in $500 million a year to the Lake Chapala lakeside area. $500 million. So the cities, the mayors, the governors, whoever may be involved, wants to make sure that this stays a clean place. And you see the vehicles all the time. And they got guys inside on the back in the racks. They got their long guns out. They got the machine gun on the back of one of the other trucks. They're present. And so that's all I've heard of is those 3 times that something got stolen and a burglary. And I understand the burglary, there wasn't much that had been taken. So when it really comes to the crime, that isn't even a question, an issue. Now, I realize it in the States, they make it a big deal. Because if you go to Mexico City, I understand there's stuff happening there all the time. But we're a long ways away from Mexico City. So I would say if it's a crime thing, I think you'll find out that from a lot of expats that it isn't something, I don't feel unsafe. I mean, I feel safe. I feel fine. We also live in a gated community, and I think that's also part of feeling safe. But I also feel, too, that when I'm out and about, I don't feel like somebody's going to harm me or anything's going to happen. So that's the comment on crime. Okay. Are the rental rates I do videos expensive? Oh, okay. Somebody is asking, because this might be the same person that asked me before. I should say one person. I haven't had anybody else ask me this, but I got the feeling this is the same person. That if the rentals that we take videos of and show you on YouTube, because they're high priced, because I'm getting commission on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show videos where houses have high rental amounts because I'm getting commission. I haven't gotten a dime. I mean, there have been people renting places here. And the rental agents that I use, they're great gals. And they've been helping people that are coming down here to find places to live. And if I show a price online or on the video, and let's just say, for example, it's $700. Well, I'd be paying $700, which means you'd be paying $700. So there isn't anything that's put in there for me getting a commission. Raul sells a house to somebody that referred to him, that came off our channel. I'm not a realtor. I can't make any money on that. Raul isn't listing a house for a lot more than what it's really worth just so he can pay Jim a commission. That's not the case. We recently did a video of a unit that is actually a place called Blue Parrot. It's right next door to the hospital. Very nice little community. I really enjoyed it. It's a gated community. They had a pool. They had a hot tub. This house that was being rented for $1,500 was like underpriced. If Barbara and I were looking for a house that had 3 bedrooms and 3 baths, and it was a larger home, we would have been all over it. But we went and did that for the rental agent so she could rent it out. All expenses are paid, and all utilities are paid, and $1,500, plus you get this beautiful home. And if you want, you can go back and watch that video again. It was $1,500 and all utilities were included in it. That's a steal. That's a steal. And a very nice home and a nice community too. So to answer the question for if this was the same person, no, I'm not jacking up prices so I can get a commission. So I do what I do because I love people. I love helping people. And so if I can find a way of providing a service, if I can find a way of offering value, offering valuable content, going the extra mile to try to make sure that you're getting the right information and the facts, that's what I do here. So that's important to me. I'm conscientious about that so I can be the best for you. Okay, well, enough on getting commissions. How about the utility outages? Are they common? I would say that Barbara and I, that our electricity has blinked or has gone off, but then come right back on, I think twice for the entire year. It isn't something that stays. We've had the internet go out, and all I did was knowing a little bit of technical stuff that I know, I basically unplugged the router, plugged it back in, and just in a few minutes, the internet came back on. I think because of the fact that the complex where we're at, everybody's got the same service, and it's all being done by fiber optic. And I think what happens is sometimes things get stuck in the communication, and so the internet comes out. I've heard that from some of the folks that live right here. So when it comes to the internet or when it comes to the utilities, utility outages, we've only had electricity, I believe, twice. I don't think it was any more than twice. But it wasn't for a long period of time. It wasn't like all night or anything like that. We had to find our flashlights or anything. Does it happen? Yes. I've heard it happens here along the lake. I would say it probably happens more in the older homes than it does in something that's, a newer or where an expat would probably live. So with that, I'm not familiar with that happening a bunch of times or it being any kind of an issue. Okay, there's our next one here. Why did you leave your dogs at the dog shelter? I shared this in a video, but I'll share it with you again. Roxy and Snoopy were Barbara's dogs before Barbara and I ever knew each other. In fact, she got Snoopy, I think, the month before that Barbara and I met. And she's a rescuer. She got him from a rescue. And these dogs not only were close to Barbara, but I was also close to him too, really close. And we had to make a decision on a couple things. We were looking at Snoopy's about 90 pounds and Roxy was about probably 60 pounds. And we were looking at actually having them flown from the States to here to Lakeside. We were told that the amount was $500 a piece. It's $1,000. And we just didn't have that kind of money. And because we came in, we sold my Honda and we came in Barbara's car because it was a newer car. They would not have been able, for one, to fit and be comfortable in the back because we had all kinds of stuff back there that we brought with us. They wouldn't have fit. Snoopy would have had a lot of problems. They'd been whining all the way down. So what we did was we actually put them in a dog sanctuary. Now, this dog sanctuary used to be an old, they had horses, and it was horse stables, several of them, that they turned into condominiums for dogs. So Snoopy and Roxy, they're still together. They have they're together in a condo. They've got their own couch. They've got their own chairs. They've got toys in there. They're able to go through a dog door and go out and run. I mean, there's a huge place there. It's kind of like it's not out in the middle of nowhere, but there's a large area there. So the only reason we left them by is because of the fact it was just going to be a real challenge for us to try to bring them down. It wasn't going to be a problem getting their papers and everything because Barbara has all their papers. But we just felt better, and I told Barbara, I said, you know what, we get down there, and if you want a dog, we'll make sure we get a dog. And that's one of the reasons why we're moving, is because Barbara's got a dog picked out, and we're going to be making the move so she can have the dog. So why do we put him in this shelter? It's actually a sanctuary. It cost, I think it was $700, which is a drop in the bucket when it comes to realizing that they're going to keep the dogs and take care of them. And they're in constant contact with Barbara. I mean, she just sent pictures here just a couple days ago, and it looks like Snoopy actually lost some weight. And it was cute. So that's the reason why we didn't bring them. It's just because of the fact that it just wasn't really going to work, and there was really going to be no place to put them. And because it's only a 2-door car. So that's the reason that we left them behind. It wasn't an easy thing to do. But we did it. We know they're being well taken care of. So I hope that takes care of that question for you. Are there a lot of electric bike riders? I've seen your video. Yes, there's a lot of electric bike riders. A lot of them. And you can see them going down the Carretera all the time, all down the highway. Electric bikes, they're pedaling. You're able to pedal them and get them going. Then you can turn on electric if you want to. You can go from stop, put on the electric, and take off. They're really neat. They're really neat. And if somebody did not want to bring a vehicle down, I would say get an electric bike. Now, Chris told me you can plug these things in at the house, at home, and they'll charge. And it's just like charging up a cell phone. And that charge will get, I believe he said 35 to 40 miles. That's a long ways. The lake itself is 60 miles around. I mean, you can go halfway around the lake with this, and it's a big lake. So the electric bikes are very, very popular here. And they're less expensive than having to get a car or be worried about how to park anything. Very, very popular with expats here that come and want to retire and have something to get around in. So, okay, that was that. Are masks still being used? Yes, they are. They're not required the same anymore, but I know that a lot of people are wearing the mask. And when I say required, I take that back. There are events that have taken place that you even had to show a negative test, COVID test. And then there was concerts that took place that you had to show that you had your shots. So recently, when Walmart still had the place that does all the tests out in their parking lot, you'd see lines of people there because they were going to be going to this concert or whatever it may have been, and then you get the COVID test. By the way, that test site at Walmart's no longer there. Now there's other places, and I just did a video on that like the last few days. If you want to take a look at where some other sites are for testing. But it isn't required, but a lot of folks don't wear their masks, and there's a lot to do. So it's all up to the individual, what they want to be doing, wearing it or not. Are you going to be doing any more expat interviews? Absolutely. I get a lot of great comments out of doing expat interviews. That way, it's a way for you to be able to know what other people are feeling about or saying about Lake Chapala. And, where they're from and how long they've been here, and hear their stories. So absolutely, I've got more expat interviews coming out. How is the water pressure? We don't use the water outside. It's not like we go out and water anything. And I don't know if this was outside or inside. Inside, the water pressure is fine. We've never had a problem with it. I mean, it's always great in the shower. Washing your hands in the bathroom, flushing the toilet, cleaning dishes off. The water pressure has never been an issue that I know of. I've seen the guys watering things around here, and they've got, they put their finger on the end of the hose, and it doesn't look like it's an issue. So I would say water pressure here is fine. It's fine. Now, is that the same way with every place? No. Where we live right now is well kept up. Now, if you go down below the Carretera going to the lake, it might be that there are water issues. Chapala just had some water issues. And it took them several days. I guess there was a pipe that broke and some contaminants got into the pipe. And what they had to do is flush it out. Or there's some stuff that they had to do. So they didn't have water for a couple of days. That's the only thing I've heard about the water when it comes to pressure and such. How much does it cost for a pizza? Okay, is that for one pizza or two pizzas? there's a couple of places that we've had pizza from, and we like Domino's pizza, although Adelita's makes a good pizza also. Domino's Pizza, they've got a thing where you can get 2 large pizzas with, is it 2 or 3? It's either 2 or 3 toppings for $15, 15 US dollars. That's a deal. That's a good deal. And I used to be, before my weight loss surgery, I used to be able to sit down and eat an entire large Domino's pizza by myself, or Pizza Hut pizza. Can't do it today. No way. But that's what the cost of a pizza is. So I guess it'd be $7 for a large pizza. And they also deliver here too. And when they deliver, you give them a tip and things work out the way. So I hope that's what you were looking for, is the pizzas. When we get a pizza at Adelita's, it's a large pizza and it's $10, I believe. And they've got like a thing outside of the restaurant, and it's a stove. It's a pizza oven, I guess, that they put the pizzas in. And yeah, there's several places here that does the pizza like in pizza ovens and all, so pretty neat. But that's so that I helped you answer for the pizza. Now you're gonna make me hungry. Another question, and folks, I just want you to know I'm trying to be sensitive to the time here. So, but I told you I'd get these out. It might just be that I just soon here stop and have to make another video up, so to make sure to get through all the questions. But I told you I was going to answer them for you. So here we're answering them. Where can I get a COVID test? Great question. I just did a video 3 days ago, about the locations. And so if you go to that video about the new COVID test, it's got a picture of me with a COVID or the mask on. And there's like, I want to say there's like 7 places in that video. Like towards the center of the video, I had the pictures of the facilities, and then I had the addresses and phone numbers underneath it. So if you watch the video, go ahead and watch the video, and then like in the center of the video, you'll find that what the addresses and everything are. So that was just recently made. So hope that helps you for the COVID test. Oh, and the prices. I've heard as low as 200 pesos, which is basically $10, and as high as 900 pesos, which is $45. So there's a wide range there. A wide range. When we came our first time, for us to get a COVID test to go back to the States back in April, we paid $45 a piece. But now it's $45 still a person right now, but you can get them done for cheaper than that. Again, I left all that information for you on the video. Where can I find the video you crossing the border into the U.S.? Great question. If you go back to the videos, I want to say that they were this last weekend, I believe. Barbara and I here in February, we flew from Guadalajara to Tijuana, Mexico, and we went through what's called the CBX. And the CBX is basically the gateway going into the U.S. And you go through customs, you go through immigration, and then once you come out on the other end, you're in the States, and you catch yourself an Uber or a Lyft, and they'll take you wherever you want to go in San Diego. So I broke up the videos. I did a video from here to the airport of Guadalajara. I did a video being inside the Guadalajara airport. I did one arriving in Tijuana. I did one that's going through the CBX in Tijuana. And then I did one on the way back from San Diego all the way until we got to Guadalajara, and then also our ride home. And that video, the last video, was like 6 or 7 minutes. And it was literally us landing at the airport, getting the car, driving home. So, coming from San Diego, the Lyft driver, getting to the CBX, getting into the airport, getting into the plane, flying into Guadalajara, and then our drive home. So that's all like in 6 or 7 minutes. So one of those videos you can watch, or you can watch the series of them. But that's where that video is at. Can you live on $1,000 a month? Yeah, you can live on $1,000 a month here. Depends how you are with your money. To live on $1,000, you would probably be in a studio apartment or a small 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. A studio apartment, it'll probably be in the older part of towns. Probably wouldn't be in Ajijic. It could probably be like Chapala. In fact, Barbara and I went and took a look at a couple places that were 1-bedrooms that we went to check out because of where they were located. And it turned out that they weren't where we thought that they were located. But we did a video anyway. That one was for $250 a month. So can you live in 1,000? Sure. If you can find a place for $250, I'm not going to say that, they're just all over the place, but if you do enough searching, $250, you figure another $100 a month, $200 a month, depending on how you eat for food, and whatever else you do. I mean, yeah, you can live on 1,000. Barbara and I, in fact, this is another video we're doing, is we're talking about how we live here on one Social Security check. One check. I was supposed to be getting Social Security disability, and it ended up, some things happened legally with the judge and my attorney. So I didn't get it. And so we're living on just Barbara's Social Security. And it is not a big check, just a little bit over what you're talking about the $1,000. So can you? Yes. Is it going to be feasible all the time? No, it would take some finding people that know people who are looking at renting out a room. I think Barbara and I, in fact, we saw a place last weekend, I think, in fact. We were looking for one of our viewers that's actually moving down here, and we went and saw a place. I think it was $300, and it was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Chapala down by the Malecon. So are they around? Yes, you can find them. This one included all utilities because this guy owns like the whole house, and it's like 3 floors. And what he does is he rents out each floor, and they have their own entryway and such. Kind of a neat place. So yes, you can live on $1,000 if you're not a big eater. If you're good with your money, you could, but not everybody. I mean, not everybody would be able to live with that. But there is a chance, and if you're really good, as I said, with your money, you probably can. Boy, I got 3 other pages here. I'll end on this one right here. How do I find a good insurance agent? Let me say something real clear about that. You can go back and watch one of our videos. There was a traffic accident here, a bad one. Thank goodness nobody was majorly injured. It was unbelievable. Go take a look at that video. I thought somebody had to have died. And the Lord was with us, because if some things wouldn't have happened with us being in the parking lot at Walmart and we driving to Ajijic, who knows? We could have been right in the middle of that big old truck that came plowing down and plowed through another truck and just demolished it and hit a couple other vehicles. Here's why I videoed I took a video of the accident. Not that I'm a news service or anything, but I just took a video of the accident. Then I got thinking how important it is to have Mexican auto insurance. So here's a good answer for you. I searched around for insurance companies. And when we first came down, we actually had a broker out of Los Angeles get us basically tourist insurance for the car. And we soon found out that that's not really what we needed. We needed automotive insurance in Mexico that's from here. And here's why. If you're involved in an accident here, chances are you're going to be talking to somebody who only speaks Spanish. Well, when you're in an accident, all of a sudden, all these, police and all show up, and you are just out of your mind already, shaken up, whatever it may be. Our insurance agent actually has somebody from his office that would come and be there whatever time during the day it is. 3 o'clock in the morning, there would be somebody there with us at that accident to help us. I highly recommend having Mexican insurance. Now, I did an interview with Andre probably a month and a half ago or so. You can take a look at that video. He's a great guy. Again, I feel I can get a good feeling about somebody's character. I was an insurance salesman at one time with New York Life. And so I know some important things about insurance. And this guy was just great. 25 years in the business. He's been here at Lakeside. And he covers every area of insurance that you're needing, whether it be life, health, property, casualty. So we went through him to get our insurance, and very glad that we did because of the service he provides. In fact, we were paying, I think Barbara said we were paying $250 for 3 months. $250 for 3 months. And through Bell Insurance Agency, it's only $200 for the entire year. That's a deal. And knowing they're going to be there at the accident, if in fact that ever happens, that's a real plus. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there at that portion of the video. If you've not already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And here's why. I'll be doing another video or two with all these questions. I told you I was going to get through them, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I hope this has been real beneficial for you and also helpful for you. And but if you haven't subscribed to this channel, it's a great community. It's fast, free. It's easy to do. There's a square box in the bottom right-hand side of the video. Tap on it, and you're subscribed, and you know when our next video comes out. On top of that, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. That lets other people know that there's a great video on YouTube about Lake Chapala. If you'd like to stop by and say hi, ask a question, leave us an idea of a video you'd like to see. And also, if you'd like, hit the bell, because what that does is immediately notifies you when our next video is out. So, and there will be a part 2 from this video, I promise. So with that, as always, thank you for being a part of this video and a part of our channel. We really appreciate you. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.